At this point, Vince McMahon is the real life Jason Voorhees because he just won't freaking die.
He won't die. In fact, that's why I was like, yes, we're doing a hard to kill preview today, but who's harder to kill than Vince? Who's harder to kill than Vince? Is the appropriate name for the sell or the takeover that he's doing? Vince McMahon, hard to kill.
Dang. And then the crazy thing is like, he comes back to life. And then he freaking just gets his daughter out of here, kicks her the hell up out of here.
Get out of here.
You two.
To your room. To your room. Stephanie, back to your room. Daddy's home.
Just for her to fucking sneak out the window and go to an AEW show.
I would do that shit tonight. But hold on, let's do the intro and then we'll come back into this.
This is everything else. Yeah. This is everything else. Yeah.
Welcome, well, you sons of guns, to another edition of Everything Else. I am your host, Marcus, the grand finale, and I'm joined by not one, not two, but all three faces of Jamal. Jamal, how are you doing today? And I have a question for you, right off the jump. Were you sold to Saudi Arabia overnight?
No,
Because
I was not sold. We went from a public company to a private one.
I think the sharpshooters, Saudi Arabia wants to buy us. We are up to sell. We are up for sale. Eric is doing a coup. He's coming back. He is taking his.
Oh my god, the greatest comeback story of all time.
Levi in the chat said, Muhammad Hassan is going to buy WWE in the same manner Shaming Man has bought it. It is not. You thought it would be Saudi Arabia. It is me. It is me, Austin.
It was me all along.
All along. So in the previous show, me and Manny were kind of just like, Raw happened. Nothing really happened since the Vince announced he was coming back. We're saying no news story. Since the release of that show, not only did Stephanie resign, Vince McMahon is back to being the chairman of the board, and apparently he has unanimously voted.
Unanimously.
And then he is now sold it to Saudi Arabia, which was all dispelled. But I like the fact that he walked into that room and everybody knew, if you don't vote for this man to be chairman of the board, your ass is out.
You're fired. You don't vote for this fucking
He like standing over you. Let me see your vote. Let me see your vote.
Let me see the goddamn vote.
Let me see your vote. Come on,
who the hell is this twit? Get him out of here.
Get him out. You're out. You're out. You're out.
Pal.
Yeah, you're out of here, buddy. You're out of here, pal. You're fired. If I'm Vince, I am coming in full higher power robe into the office today. Full robe.
What's
just walking around.
John, you're fired.
The face of evil. Vince McMahon is back. What were your thoughts of hearing all this news and what was happening going on? And yes, we're going to cover everything else in the show, but this is the breaking news that's on it's just happening. It's just happening. It's unfolding.
On the lips of every wrestling journalist out there, and we have to discuss it. Man, like, you know what? Some people are going to be like, don't jack the hype of the news. This has already had been in place. They were just waiting to break down the news. They're saying that this had already happened months ago. They didn't really freaking kick his ass out. Some people are saying that he's been doing this for the minute. It's just now that it's public news. But, since they're becoming a private company because the selling to Saudi Arabia, now they're just going to, do whatever the fuck they feel like, which is either a good or a bad thing because how out of touch this man is. But apparently and allegedly, Triple H is still going to be in the creative control department. So, if that is true, then it is a good thing. But if it's not true, then that's terrible.
Yeah, there are so many allegedlys, maybe, if, and what. There's been so many off and on stories. The only news story, or the only news affiliate I trust right now is the Wall Street Journal, because everybody else is reporting all types of stuff. Like, I think it was like bodyslam.net that reported WWE has sold to Saudi Arabia, and this is in the middle of the night. And then that's coming out to be false, as people are coming out onto news outlets after making their stock drop. That came out as
Do
false.
yeah, research. Hey,
Do your
all I
research
tell,
before you go on TV.
yeah, all I tell all of our wrestling journalists out there: do the research. Check multiple sources.
Yeah.
Don't put stuff as news if it's not news. You could put speculated. You could put speculation. You could put allegedly. Don't be like they did or they did not. No,
Yeah.
they might have or they might have not.
It could have been. Like, there's so many, like, it just seems like one tweet could go out there right away and everybody's like, what? Let me do this.
You know how
Vince
fickle
McMahon,
the community is. You know how
Yeah.
fickle it is.
Triple H shot Vince McMahon in the boardroom.
What?
What? Fact. Like, that's how the news is going out right now, and it's a lot of nonsense. The facts that we do have is that Vince McMahon is the chairman of the board. Stephanie has resigned, and they are in talks to sell the company. They have yet to sell it to Saudi Arabia, although they are considered a front runner to buy it, which has correlated back, stuff in the back of like people who will not work for Saudi Arabia. Key in point, one of their top biggest stars, Sami Zayn, would immediately probably walk out. Like, that's not Uzi and him to sell to Saudi Arabia, since he's not even allowed to even wrestle on these Saudi shows.
We're not even looking at the big elephant in the room when it comes to selling this company. Who has just as much money as Vince McMahon to even buy that motherfucking company? That is like, a threat.
Yeah. Here we go in the chat. Levi thinks the Saudi news was legit, but it was an intentional league that gave the type of bad press that it would generate, which it did. Trekopedia is false. Sean Ross Sapp and everybody said that it is not selling to Saudi Arabia, and Bison deleted their tweet and won't respond to it, which is good. Finally, some honesty. Luchador think if Turner Broadcasting buys WWE, that would be the most insane term of lowest
booking, baby. Long term. But in regards to that, yeah.
Is Turner even still around? I don't even. Honestly, I have not even heard the name.
He's still alive. He's still well. TNT still exists. You can watch your Law and Order at freaking 9 p.m.
Extra time to hear rape victims as soon as I eat my fucking croissant in the morning.
But no. What I was referring to is Tony Khan's puppy, his dad, with all with that good money that he can purchase, and that would be the biggest purchase of the freaking decade.
Yeah, and with that being said, Shad Khan, and I read another story, actually has the money to probably buy WWE, although it will probably put him at a financial loss if he does do it, because he's worth $11 billion, money that neither one of us probably will ever have, but $11 billion. And it would probably cost about 6-7 to buy the WWE, somewhere around that range, which means he would have to put up the Jaguars and everything just to make his son happy. And I personally don't feel like the WWE is worth all that. I would not. I would keep my NFL team. Fuck you, Tony. You built that AEW, motherfucker. That's what I'm telling my son. You built the shit. I'm not paying for that.
I don't know. If I had just like, like if this is me personally speaking, if I had that kind of cheese and I could buy the WWE, I would fucking buy it. That's just me.
Yeah, but plus you gotta put up your NFL team. Whatever your son's doing with AEW is out the window.
You're gonna hey motherfuckers, I fucking bought the WWE. You better fucking win the Super Bowl this year and fucking generate that income.
Come on, Trey.
You see what I'm saying? And then now you have WWE and AEW and all their partnerships and all of that shit. How many matches? How many fucking matches? Can you believe?
Yeah, I would love for TK to just be doing this, going, damn it, I should have bought Ring of Honor. I acted too soon. I could have waited a little bit, used some of that money to put into my WWE money, and I owned everything. But I doubt if AEW would buy it. Although I think right now, as we stand right now, of all the potential buyers, AEW would be the best hands to go to, due to Tony Khan being a wrestling fan and a former WWE fan before he technically started AEW. He understands the history and build. I think he will put the right people in charge. He will bring, Triple H and Hunter. AEW would just become a part of WWE. They kind of just work together.
No, it'll be. I don't know what it will be, because like, to say that AEW WWE merger, like, imagine that, like, this is like back in the day when freaking AOL got bought by fucking Comcast or fucking some bullshit, and then they had to fucking merge the companies together. It's just like, oh fuck, oh hey, this shit is for real.
Yeah. With that being said, I don't think Saudi Arabia will buy WWE. I think it's too much bad press. I think that you saw the stock drop right away. I don't think they're a front runner. I think that gave the advantage to the other buyers, such as your Amazons, Disney's, NBC. All these other buyers now have the advantage due to the negative press of Saudi Arabia.
If the House of Mouse buys WWE, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know. I throw my hands in the air.
As I said on the show on Saturday or yesterday or whenever, a million shows we do, I can't wait for the Sami Zayn Roman Reigns spin-off TV show. 8 episodes of them just living their life, and we're going like, God damn it, Disney. God damn it.
I'm so Uzi.
Yeah. Or I can't wait for them to start selling
John Cena shit everywhere.
John Cena and Mickey Mouse little dolls or something to go against Grogu in Disneyland Live this week. The Mandalorian walking to the ring.
Well, there goes Mercedes Monet's freaking cameo for the second season, the third season.
Yeah. And then, I can't wait to hear that tonight.
Everybody keeps thinking that it might. We still not talking about Trinity, man. We still not talking about Trinity.
She home. She with Jimmy Uso. She's probably gonna show up on Friday SmackDown this week or something.
Still not talking about Trinity.
Or in the Rumble. Nope. The money isn't with her.
Here's the crazy thing about the Royal Rumble, right? The Royal Rumble is crazy on both the men's and the women's side, because we could still hear my name. You can still come in that bitch. Like, stop playing. Like,
yeah, we do not have
we can still hear money.
But with that being said, hearing money, all that shit, and Michael Cole yelling, "It's boss time," or whatever the hell can happen with that. I think that if that was going to happen, that's out the window once she found out that Vince is back in charge. She threw the title on his table, damn it. Once she threw that title on his table, you knew she was done. As a black woman, you knew she was done with this man.
Yeah. We don't take that into consideration, but yes, got to take that into consideration. The reason why you left is back.
Yeah. The obsolete has pointed out a fact that I have oversight. Thing is, as long as they take it private, it doesn't matter at all about the stock price anymore. That is 100% true. But also, it'd be difficult for some of these networks to get on board with you. Not stock price more, just the personal image of dealing with Saudi Arabia. You see how they're doing with the Live and the PGA. It's kind of just disconnecting the world, and people are conflicted if they're allowed to support it or not. It's a lot of those issues. And Disney is a family-owned company. No way are they going to buy a wrestling company from Vince McMahon. Yes, they would.
Do you not know that
they have Deadpool?
They're the evil company that are looking like they're good. They are Mr. Business in a Lego world, okay?
It's business. Yes.
Everything is not awesome.
Did not expect a Lego movie reference out of nowhere, but Mr. Business.
They are the Mr. Business of the freaking company.
Disney will sell out right away. I mean, there's a lot of good discussion here. This is just epic discussion, a great discussion on where they. Yeah, this is a close comment. They are. They really are. AOL and Time Warner had to merge because they were both bad shape. Now AOL is dead anyway. Yes.
I don't know. I still got you got mail coming to my freaking mailbox.
Hey, that's all time. I don't know about y'all, but I still put my CD in because I still got 800 free trials to go through. I don't know how y'all use the internet, but my CD-ROM is helping me.
All those damn emails that I got, I still got my aim. I still whip up my sidekick from time to time.
Hey, life never got better than 2010. I've been living that life ever since. I'm using my sidekick, my AOL. What else? I'm paying $2 in gas. I don't know how.
Do you use your sidekick to go on AIM and Twitter for your burner accounts to tell people?
I use my sidekick to comment to Nelly in XL. That's why I use it. Nelly, I love you. Nelly, I need you.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
There's still so much more to discuss.
Yes, this is just the opening topic of our show. I know everybody think we're just going to cover this Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, all that situation and all that. I think the WWE will remain okay if one pillar of that company stays in put in his job, and that is Paul Levesque, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. If he can continue to stay at the helm of Monday Night Raw, which I don't think he will, because Vince McMahon is in a script tearing kind of mood right now, I think the WWE will be okay. But if not, if Triple H walk out, there will be a mass exodus, not only via wrestlers, but also the fan base. Although I will still tune in the next week to see.
I have to see what happens. I have to see what happens.
Honestly, if I'm WWE with all this going on and all this skeptical, and I don't care who is in charge of creative right now, I'm writing this in the show. I'm putting this shit in the show. I'm putting Vince McMahon as a main antagonist on this show. People are going to watch.
All you need is, remember when he trolled us like last year? Like when they kicked him out and they were like, yo, Vince McMahon's coming to SmackDown. What's he going to say? And he just like, welcome to SmackDown. And then walked out like nothing happened.
Now forever. Yeah.
So that's all you would need. Damn. This is like Vince McMahon wrestling God again.
Yes. I honestly, again, I will put this on TV. I know it's blurring the line of shoot and a work. And I think that putting Vince on there as the main antagonist and having wrestlers wrestle and not knowing what the certainty of their future in the company is on a week-to-week basis, you imagine those promos, those matches, and even Vince McMahon just being an evil genius. And even I can imagine a segment where he's putting bidders to buy WWE will be in the ring tonight. And he'll have a giant Mickey Mouse in there. and all that. That shit would be hilarious to me, and I think we should do it.
It was me all along.
It was me. Yuck.
Man.
Goofy, you're fired.
This reminds me of D-Mob versus Crow, where you had he got a bunch of wrestlers on the one side or the other, and then Crow just tries to take D-Mob's whole slab of freaking company.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. So, the obsolete also says, the reason Mr. Man's back is because no one who actually matters cares the women that sleep with him. Most CEOs probably had the same thing. Bring back Vince's millions when he was giving the money. And we can bring that back and then blow his ass
Billions,
up.
My friend. Billions.
Blow Vince McMahon up.
Billions. Put respect on his name. You don't do millions. We're billionaires in this.
Eli, WWE stands have become delusional. This entire situation is bad. I would like to also say that all wrestling fans are a bit delusional for the fact that every situation that they think is good, it's just they're in the room with a burning fire. Whether it's with WWE, AEW, Impact, or whoever, shit is going bad in all types of places. Vince on his Kanye arc. Now he hasn't went that far yet. No one has went that far. I feel like there's a celebrity of...
He's on the verge. He's definitely on the verge.
Here's my new celebrity scale. There's a scale of Keanu Reeves and Kanye West at the end of it. Where Keanu's completely innocent. Kanye's at the far spectrum. No one goes that far.
You
But
went full Kanye, didn't you? Full Dang.
absolutely. Get Paul from under the collapse set.
It's not
Like I
even
can see.
it's not even Friday yet. It's not even
Yeah.
unlucky day yet. Speaking of Friday,
Ah.
speaking of Friday,
Yes.
a lot
So,
of good wrestling on there.
Hard to Kill is happening this Friday. Impact Wrestling is Hard to Kill, which, again, all of wrestling is being overshadowed by the main company, WWE, and the sale and merger and all that. But we still got good quality wrestling tonight. AEW is having their going to have a solid show in LA. Unfortunately, I couldn't attend. And then this Friday the 13th, Hard to Kill. You got Mickey James' Last Rodeo, Josh Alexander versus Bully Ray, and so much more. I almost said Titus O'Neil. I don't know how the fuck that came. But Moose versus Joe Henry. There's so much on this card that, it's a perfect title for Hard to Kill. And Jamal, I know you list your top matches of the week on the short that's been previewed before this, so please check that out if you have not, or thank you for checking that out before you entered here. What do you think is going to happen on Hard to Kill? What are you looking forward to?
I'm definitely looking forward to those two matches that I said with Jordan Grace and Mickey James. Is like, right at this point in time for Mickey James, every Mickey James match could be her last match, so it's like a must watch if you are a fan of any type of wrestling and stuff like that, because it's one of those, are they going to lose or are they going to continue? Are they going to lose or are they going to continue? Like, that's, and this is against a defending champion like Jordan Grace. So it's going to be interesting to see either Jordan loses the title and Mickey James becomes Hardcore Country one last time with the one last rodeo, with the one last match, because we know if Mickey James was to win, and it's either that she wins and then retires, or she wins, continues defending, and then retires. So
Yeah.
I don't know how that would work. But if Jordan Grace continues her dominating reign, then it's curtains for Mickey James, and it's a good send off. It's a better send off than a fucking trash bag that WWE did. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, Trash Bag Gate was one of my favorite gates of the Vince McMahon era wrestling because it was more like everybody gets a trash bag. But why? But why? That was the argument. Everybody got a trash bag, not just Mickey.
You get a trash bag. You get Jonah got a trash bag, and now he's Bronson Reed again.
Yep. Since it was a it was a scented trash bag with a lot of lavender in it. I think this is Mickey James' last rodeo, but like you said, out of all, of matches that can happen, the best part about a wrestling match is that you don't know what the outcome could be, but you can see multiple scenarios happen. You can see Jordan Grace's reign continuing and retiring Mickey James. Mickey goes out in the sunset, maybe make one last appearance in the Royal Rumble. I don't think she's going to get a thank you Mickey chant or something, but I can see all that happening as well. But you can also see Mickey James regaining her title at this key moment in Impact Women's Division and bring more eyes to seats again to the company and continuing this last rodeo. And then the last rodeo continues until she loses the title, which would be like maybe at, I don't know, Bound for Glory, end of Slammiversary or something.
Just the end of the year, the end of the year.
Yeah, she can go on a hell of a run. Or I can see a scenario of her, Jordan Grace retiring Mickey James, and she shows up in the Rumble, and we make it a tradition to always put the Impact Wrestling Champion in the Rumble every single year. I'm down for that.
I was gonna say just that thing, just that very same thing. Like me and you are on the same thinking process. It's just like when we put all the things in our hats in the beginning of the intro. Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, have the Impact Women's Champion always show up. Make that.
Yes.
Or, like, even furthering that, put all the women's champions of other companies as the, like, I don't know, like, there's like 10 of them, 10 major
ones. Put Kyrie. Let me get Kyrie. Jordan Grace.
Put all the major women's champions of other companies at least in 10 of those spots, and then let everything else fall into play. Like,
because what could use a boost in the world of wrestling? The popularity of women's wrestling. There are so many wrestlers who are out there. Women's wrestling has never been better, and they are out there doing the damn thing. And a better place to showcase that is in the Royal Rumble match, where we can feature every talented woman there. Because, WWE tried to do their, what was it called? Evolution pay-per-view, the all-women's pay-per-view and all
which was
whatnot.
not bad.
It was not bad, but it
That
was not
table's
seen
for
as a financial
them, but like,
success.
yeah,
Like they weren't fill the arena and all that, but I think we need to make this more ominous because wrestling in a whole has just been a male-dominated sport. Women were only relegated to bra and panty matches and whatnot and nonsense and ballets and all that. This is a good time for every company to promote their women's division by becoming one union and be into the Rumble for my selfish benefit, basically.
If you are not a subscriber to Wrestle Universe, I suggest that you pay the subscription to watch the Wrestle Universe. You'll see things like DDT, Pro Wrestling Noah, but there's also a women's company in there, TPJW, like the Joshi Wrestling Network or whatever it's called. And there's a lot of Gaijin women. Like Trisha Dora is over there right now. Max the Impaler's over there right now. There's different women that's not Japanese that's wrestling in those companies. This is the same company that a lot of the AEW Japanese women are from. Mai Iwatani, not Mai Iwatani, but Maki Ito. She's from that Joshi Pro Wrestling. The magical girl Sakura, she's from that company and stuff.
Yuka Sakazaki
works. Yeah. A whole bunch of AEW's women's Japanese division is from this company that I'm talking about, which, not going to hold you, I just recently discovered this company. I knew of these women's wrestlers before, but I knew them because they were doing their independent things in, PWG here, freaking GCW there, stuff of that nature. That's how come I know of them. But their home company is that's the company I'm talking about. Tessa ain't going no goddamn.
I didn't even get to ask the question.
She ain't going nowhere. Nobody's signing her stupid ass. She had the potential to be the GOAT. She had the potential to be a better Charlotte than Charlotte, and her fucking Crimson Chin looking ass fucked it up. Okay?
Yeah, all the shit she said, she got the world canceled and all that. So I don't see Tessa coming back to Impact. I don't see her going to WWE. I don't see her going to AEW. I think she is one of them. She is the outcast.
Can't even go to Mexico.
Yeah,
fucking cheating on her man. Wrong with you?
No tiger. How dare you?
Ricochet saw the divorce news and he was like, "I gotta get Samantha right now. Let me marry her."
So, and another thing about Jordynne Grace winning against Mickie James, her man did her a favor, did the job for her at Battle Los Angeles, which I don't understand why PWG is not the easiest product to see. It's the hardest wrestling product to see in all the world, I feel like. In all the world. Like, it's too difficult for whatever reason. But they have Battle Los Angeles. Jordynne Grace beats Jonathan Gresham, goes on loose speedball. And he goes on to win it. Mike Bailey won. He won it, and he will fight. Son. Yeah,
he beat Brian Keith, the bounty hunter. Whoa.
He is on a roll, and then he's gonna fight Daniel Garcia, who I believe is still PWG champion.
Son, I'm waiting for Brian Keith to show up to this place. Can't wait.
Oh yeah, because he's filling in, right, or something.
Low key match, Brian Keith. I can't wait.
What else?
I think the next the Brian Keith match is gonna be Charles Mason, the root of all evil. That's gonna be a can't wait to see that.
There's a lot going on there. Let's continue on with Impact though. The main event: Josh Alexander, champion, longest reigning Impact champion in history. Now he's with 200 something days, which I went, damn, that's it. I feel like people had longer reigns in this, but he's had it for 200 something.
I'm thinking Raven. I'm thinking AJ, Kurt Angle.
Like even I know some of them are short, like Joe's and whatnot, but he always had short reigns.
Short. So was R-Truth's title reigns. They were short.
Hell, I thought Chris Sabin had a decent reign, but apparently no one made like 200 days. But he's past that.
Austin Aries had a long run. Morrison had a decent run. Cage, Penta.
Yeah. I thought a few people would have had longer runs than what they had, but
I
apparently
wasn't
not.
talking about Christian. I was thinking about
I don't
Brian.
know, Brian Cage. I know. I brought up Christian after. It sounded. I can see how we're
Yeah,
both
yeah,
confused
yeah,
about what we said. We were
yeah.
not meaning. I was not meaning to cross that. I knew who you meant, Brian Cage, not Christian Cage.
uh,
Oh, I say Christian. I'm always saying Christian. Eric always asks the Cage at the end, no matter what. Because of that, when I say Christian, I just mean Christian. Whenever you say Cage, I know it's Frank. But he's gonna fight Bully Ray. I have him losing this match. I have him losing
you
clean
have
ring.
Bully winning or Josh
I have
losing?
Bully winning and becoming the new
I mean,
Impact Wrestling
it
champion.
helps. It definitely helps. It's going to put eyes on the company again. You have a WWE Hall of Famer as your world champion. So there you go. Just call it what it is. But then this goes back to what I said a few weeks ago. Why the fuck do we have all these old ass niggas becoming world champions? Get the fuck home. Do your podcast.
Do you want to know why all these old fools are becoming champions and all that? It's because these young talents can't get over. Tell the truth. Josh Alexander's a hell of a wrestler. Hell of a wrestler. He can do whatever he can in the ring. He could have matched with anybody. You can put him in there. But dude ain't putting asses in seats. He's not drawing any buzz.
He's the weaker version of what the North was. Ethan Page should be in the position that that Josh Alexander's in, but he's not. And
yeah,
that's because he's in a different company.
Yeah, Ethan Page would at least had people talk with his promo skills and storytelling and all that like that. Josh Alexander go out there and give you a good match. Like he fought for an hour against Mike Bailey last week. That the buzz was for like 2 minutes, and then people already have moved on.
The thing about Mike Bailey and the thing about Josh Alexander and all these great wrestlers, it seems like to be a running trend. A lot of great wrestlers cannot talk on the mic. They can't. They just can't. Chris Benoit couldn't do it. Dean Malenko couldn't do it. Freaking Perry Saturn really couldn't do it, even though the Moppy was classic. It was great. Lance Storm, he couldn't do it either. No. Not one.
I thought Lance was capable. I thought he was terrible, but capable. Like, there's some of these guys where you go like, what are they doing? Like when I hear Jungle Boy talk, I go like, dude, what are you talking about? You have no charisma.
When Bryan Danielson speaks, it's all bland to me. Like, I would rather hear Jon Moxley speak on behalf of the Blackpool Combat Club. Cesaro's another one. Like,
Yep. Again, what they need to work on, and this is something that I'll use basketball as an analogy on this. There's a lot of people who come out with all these moves, but they don't come out talking. That's like playing in the NBA or in basketball. Oh yeah, I can shoot. But I don't play defense at all. What are you, Carmelo Anthony? I don't need that shit. Yep, I need somebody that can play two sides of the ball. And that's what's going on in wrestling.
Favorite basketball players of all time, but he just cannot stick to the defensive side. The reason why James Harden is always in the playoffs and never wins with his team is because he sticks no goddamn defense at all.
Yeah.
He's a fucking cone. He's a fucking cone.
Here we go. Hey, I'm 100% right. The various companies, blah, 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 blah. Many of the people are just saying it's very offensive and generic. Levi comments, wrestling fans are old as hell. Aren't the fans of any show is full of fans in their 40s rocking NWE show. Hey, you know what? There's a lot of kids in the stands if you watch WWE events. Like, I don't feel like the fan base is dying out. I don't feel like everybody's getting old as hell. I just feel like there's no one bringing in the new audience. There isn't that main character. There isn't a John Cena, a Stone Cold, a Sting, or a Ric Flair, or somebody out there, a Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah,
there isn't that guy.
All the characters are very mature. We're so pro wrestling and stuff like that. You gotta have a balance. And every company, if you think about every company, there's not a lot of, we call them comedic characters. We call them like cookie cutter baby faces, but you need the cookie cutter baby face. You need the all-American guy or all-American girl, or the face, not the face of the company per se, because I'm a big firm believer that the face of the company should always be a heel, because that's what you put your ass in the seat to do, to watch that motherfucker lose.
It's the chase. It's like when you watch a TV show, you want to see the hero overcome the villain.
So, but it's to build that hero up, and we don't have enough of those people. And then even if we do, so for the Jon Moxleys, like who's the next one? Who's next up?
And then he's
Nobody.
tweening because all he fights everybody. John Moxley's issue is he fights everybody. He's just not a straight up babyface. Like he's trying to end the career of Hangman Page is his current storyline. When 1
Which
week
is
ago I was
building
supposed to root for
Hangman
this
to be
motherfucker
like
to be in the M.
this is Hangman's opportunity to become that baby face. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Yeah.
So, but every company has this problem, including WWE, Impact, New Japan. Like, I see Okada, but come on, we're you know, it's the Umino time. Let's get Umino out there. Great Okan is highly petitioned to be the next babyface because he's doing real life babyface shit.
Great Okan, and again, Great Okan is a good character in wrestling. Like he's just a good character. He's good in the ring or whatever. He may not be Kenny Omega in the ring or whatnot or Okada, but character wise, image wise, presentation wise, you look at him and go, "That's somebody" right away. Like as soon as he come out,
I mean, he's the British heavyweight champion for crying out loud. He's out there, undefeated out in Britain.
Yeah, I just think that wrestling is slowly, and I hate that this becomes divulged into a wrestling discussion, whatever. But I think that it's the current wrestlers in the business are so like I care about the niche audience of I just care about the matches instead of the people who are more in my vein of like I'm in this for the soap opera, the drama, and the weird and unique characters.
Yeah, give me my Days of Our Lives. Give me my General Hospital, damn it. I want my freaking 12 Corazones on the television through wrestling. Okay.
I'm going to click through a bunch of these comments real quick because apparently the chat is on fire today. Then everybody's being new. Friendly friend, a few years see they can move something else and keep on moving to PG. Yeah, and also true. People are moving on to everything else. The attention spans of everybody is like a millisecond. Right now, the most popular thing on our channel is the shorts. We can do this show and have the best information, whatever. Doesn't matter. 10-second clip of someone falling down will beat us. And in wrestling, why watch a full 3-hour episode, a Monday Night Raw, which is already a tiresome event anyway, when I can just watch it via YouTube clips? It's so much easier. It's so much easier.
So much faster, so much less time consuming, unless you're Manny editing all those clips.
Yeah, Manny works in a hyperbolic time chamber where time does not exist like normal movies. I don't know how he gets the time. Let's see. When I was 9-year-old, my favorite thing and stuff was Terminator, RoboCop, Aliens, Grand Theft Auto, all 18 plus stuff. You damn right it was. That's what I call growing up.
If there was no blood in my game, I didn't want it.
So you trying to tell me you wouldn't buy Mortal Kombat without the blood? You had to get the one with the blood.
I had to get the one with the blood. Like that Super NES version was trash. I needed the Sega version.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. I think I played the Super NES version and went, "What's this?" And then I got the Sega Genesis version. Like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I want. Give me this blood and spikes. Give me blood and spikes.
I was worried that Budokai wouldn't show no blood, but then they showed Piccolo blowing a hole in Raditz and Goku, and I was like, yes.
Yeah. And then you also, like Luchador said, there's a lot of other options out there in the wrestling world today. Like anime is basically just pro wrestling. When you watch most of it, it's just colorful characters, and then they're just cartoons and they're fighting and doing action and whatnot.
Man, everything from Chainsaw Man to Tokyo Revenger season 2 is out. Freaking the Bleach, the 1,000-Year Blood Arc. Yo, that thing.
Fucking One Punch Man was just wrestling matches. It was just a big guy one punch finish. It was John Cena matches over and over. Hogan with the boot, essentially.
Ha 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 ha! Goku wins. Ha ha ha! Like,
but the one thing about those shows, you never hear like, "Well, I wish they let Cell be Goku this week, so he can get over." That's the one thing. Never. You never hear no nonsense.
We know Goku's gonna win, but we know why he has to win.
Yes. You're not rooting for the heels of these other shows.
Unless it's like a Psycho Pass, Death Note, shows like that. Like, damn, I want the bad guy to get away.
All right, wrestling maybe we had off season. It would be. I think less is more. I like that wrestling continues on, but I think that again, if you take something away from somebody, it builds up anticipation to the next time it comes back.
It's not going to be the same. They can't do it. it's impossible to do it. This is not like football, basketball, baseball, hockey, and stuff like that. That was one of my flexes when it pertains to people who used to like Jack that I watch wrestling all the time, and they're like, "Why do you watch this?" I was like, when your NBA season is over, tell me what's going on in the off season while I continue watching my shit through WrestleMania and then continue. Like,
hey, those off season,
my big flex.
Hey, the NBA off season is fun. Yeah,
You
the
know what I'm
NBA off
saying?
season is fun as hell though, because they got the draft coming up and there's trades and all this discussion. I
I'm not
enjoy
saying,
off
I'm not
season.
saying nothing about it, but I'm just saying when they tried to stunt on me, and I was like, "Well, your season's over. Mine's everlasting." So I got the season on lock, and I can go back catalog and catch up, and you'll still be fucking fucked up.
Yeah,
Waiting for
and
the season to start.
that is one of the benefits. But I would like to see, because I think Lucha Underground actually experimented with this, right? They would have seasons. It would just go like season, and then there'd be no episodes for a few months, maybe like 2 or 3,
Because
and
they'll
then it's
tape
back
it.
on.
Yeah.
It kind of worked. It's a good formula, and like even for TV shows, like let's say House of the Dragon or whatever, there's anticipate like 2 years. God
if you
damn
make
it!
it into an episodic television show like that, which again, Lucha Underground has been the forefront of that. MLW is doing little dabbles with that. Impact Wrestling does dabbles with that, but not like an off season per se. They'll be like, this wrestler is featured heavily for months, then he'll go away for a while, and then put another wrestler in the focus. That wrestler will go for months, and then all of a sudden it'll encompass both of those wrestlers because, hey, I'm back now, and he did all these things that you remember, and then this wrestler is currently doing those things, and now, boom, now you have a fucking story,
And I know it's going to happen one day. It's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to succeed or fail, but there's going to be a wrestling show that's exclusively on one of these streaming services that isn't going to be a week-to-week wrestling show where you're able to binge that shit and watch the entire season of wrestling. I'm sure it's going to be one of these shows.
On independent wrestling TV?
I have no, I don't think anything like that. Nothing like that. I mean, on a streaming show, which you can be like, let me watch Monday Night. Let's just use Raw, I guess, as an example. I'm gonna put Monday Night Raw on. I can watch 5 straight episodes of Monday Night Raw on Amazon right now. Just be like, I'm caught up into this.
WWE has done this. For those that did not delete their WWE network, they're like literally 3 weeks behind. So you can like literally watch 3 weeks behind worth, and then let it play out, and then watch it like that. Mm-hmm. So you would watch week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, the pay-per-view.
Yep.
And that's how you should,
nice. Yeah, that's how we're currently doing retro. We just watch all the shows and then it's pay-per-view. It's like, we've been doing it pay-per-view. It's not a bad way to watch wrestling, honestly. Because, week to week, it's really, sometimes there's other things to do on a Monday, whether it's Monday Night Football, or you want to go out with somebody, or Friday night instead of SmackDown, or, whatever the case may be, or you don't want to miss a pay-per-view, and Sunday night is, I don't know, I'm just going to say the fucking Grammys, I don't know what people do on Sunday
like
night.
some weird shit be happening sometimes. And it's just like,
and I just want to be like, I can put wrestling to the side, I want to see what Tom Brady's going to do to them Cowboys this week.
But see, here's the wonderful thing about what I like about pro wrestling is that I just don't have one option. Like everybody, if you're a WWE guy, just a WWE guy, you're fucked. You're fucked. If you're just an AEW guy, you're kind of fucked. Not really fucked, but kind of.
Yeah.
If you're a New Japan guy, all it is back cataloging. They wait weeks before their next show.
Yeah. You watch New Japan Strong? You got a year. NWA? You got like a year of tapings or something. It's like 3 or 4 weeks, but you still got it. Impact was the same way. Impact is kindly the same way. They got about 4 or 5 taped up before they start their new tapings. Or whenever they have their next live pay-per-view show, they'll start doing more tapings in that location or whatnot. So it's only a matter of time, I think, before we just see Impact Wrestling on Netflix. And you just go in there and watch it and be like, I'm caught up. And just enjoy the show, and then, they just keep on a weekly basis. The dangers of this is if Chris Benoit wins your champion, I just cut the episodes. I'll put the episodes immediately. That's not going to happen. Chris Benoit is a once-in-a-lifetime situation. That's never going to happen again. I don't think.
Don't say that. Never say never.
Shoot.
Knock
on wood. This man was gone a week.
Mr. Blanchard could go to her house and swag that dry Daga, and then freaking, become the scum of the earth female edition. You know what I'm saying?
But speaking of New Japan, Jay White, Hikuleo, loser leads New Japan. Who you got? Because
All right, my
both
money
of them can
said
show up in the fucking Rumble at this
my
point.
yeah, the loser is gonna. I can't even say that because the Royal Rumble's before that event. So whoever shows up at the Royal Rumble, that's the loser. Okay, let's just put that out there. Um, I don't know, man. Like it benefits both guys to come slide over. I mean, with Hikaleu, right? His brother was
Yeah.
there, so he can give him a little bit tidbits of advice and stuff like that. WWE is missing a good big man. I'm not saying like a great we could talk about Braun Strowman and he can't fucking lift his fucking leg to save his life to do a fucking stool kick. We could talk
You got
about
some
Omos
Dijak.
who's moving his potential, but like he's as tall as Dijak, he weighs just as much as Omos. Like it's one of those things. Um, and he's not green, but he's WWE green, and you can build on that. You
Yeah.
know, he
And
is potential for a whole
yeah.
bunch of shit with Hikaleu, as
He could be
opposed
a
to
monster in NXT.
right, exactly. Like he could be the Braun killer, like the Braun breaker,
Yeah, he's the breaker. He's Doomsday for Breaker
breaker
or
of
whatever.
Braun. Like he could do that.
Now you're Braun broken. I
Yeah.
don't know why I'm turning him to Bane. I'll break your
Um,
back.
when it pertains to a bigger star like Jay White, um, you can immediately see him in a line with like Seth Rollins
Damn.
or Bobby Lashley or AJ Styles, anybody really. Like you
Not
can
even
put him
that. Even in
down, like
AEW, same thing.
same shit. Like oh John Moxley, you thought you were the fucking cat. I'm the catalyst, motherfucker. Fuck you talking about? I
Yeah.
headlined WrestleMania and not WrestleMania, Madison Square Garden, and this and the third. Boom, boom, boom. You were just a footnote in New Japan. I was New Japan. Da da da. He could do that. Daniel Bryanson match with Switchblade. That would be fucking dope to see.
Oh man, there's a
Yeah.
lot of matchups. There's a lot of matchups with him, and I feel like of all the free agents they talked about, because Tamatonga is rumored to be on WWE's radar, Hikaleu and Jay White. They just signed Carl Fredericks as well. There's a lot of people moving around, but I don't know.
Hold up. WWE got Carl Fredericks.
Yeah.
Nice
Signed
pickup.
to NXT. They signed to NXT this week.
Nice
Over the
pickup.
weekend. Yep. So they are invested. They
That's
are interested in a lot of these New Japan wrestlers, and I think Hikaleu fits more WWE. Jay White can go either way. Tamatonga, who is the never openweight champion, I think if Hikaleu goes to WWE, I think by choice he'll probably end up over there, just in general. And maybe they either
So
team
that,
him
that
up,
could
or
be
they work
could be
together,
a
or they're
big
part of the bloodline.
well, no, that could be a big coup for WWE. Get Hikaleu, which then in turn you get Tamatonga and Tongaloa. You got the Gorillas of Destiny. You could
Mm-hmm.
make whatever fucking name you want to fucking make, but they're still called the Gorillas of Destiny. And
Sons of Haku.
now you have a feud with the Bloodline somewhere down the road, or you make Bloodline light in NXT or some shit like that, and fucking boom,
Yeah,
like
they're expanding whatever you want to do. So maybe this is the Solo Land part of Bloodline, in which he runs this team on Raw. It's Solo and basically Guerrillas of Destiny and stuff on Raw, and then you have the Bloodline, like basically NWO Wolfpack and
yeah, like
NWO Black and White, but maybe done better. Hopefully done better.
that would be a big coup, man, for WWE. Like,
Yeah.
damn,
And NXT with this Dragon Lee signing and Carl
Dragon Lee
Fredericks and
this
stuff,
time.
they are building up. And if they added Hikaleu to the NXT roster, it's almost becoming a what the hell's going on here? Because they did add gender. They added gender last night.
Oh my god!
I think that was short notice. I don't know what happened to Veer. Maybe he's hurt or he contracted COVID or something. They didn't say, but I'm assuming something happened. That was a last minute move to add gender on that show. Whew. I'm out of breath. There's a lot to cover. So.
I'm hindering gender again.
Hey, he looked good last night. I thought Jinder looked as good as he's looked in the past 20 years. That's not saying much, but he's looked good.
Forget the history of Jinder Mahal in NXT, man. He was the first one to lose to Seth Rollins to win the NXT championship initially. So
yeah. He's had a lengthy career in wrestling and done absolutely. I guess his peak would be WWE champion Jinder Mahal, but that was he was the type of champion I liked for a reason because he was hated by everybody and he was a heel
He was
and you
hated for
wanted to
the
see
wrong
him
reason.
beat. Yeah,
He was hated for the wrong reasons. The reasons that WWE wanted him to get hated, he didn't get hated for. He got hated because they didn't want him there, which was perfect because that's why you go to the show. You want this guy to lose, and then the problem was he kept winning. He
yeah.
kept
He
winning
beat
against top
AJ Styles. He was
top
beating
guys.
AJ Styles and
Randy Orton.
Does he have a Roman
like,
win? Does he have a Roman win? He might have a
No,
Roman win. I think he stole one against Roman.
no, absolutely not. You're thinking of Baron Corbin.
No, I know Baron got that one. They reminded us that Baron dumped that dog food on us and created us the tribal chief that day. He's like, never again. Never again. Dude, fuck the big dog at this point. Tribal chief ever since then. But yeah, this is a lot of interesting things going to happen in the next coming weeks. But again, as we said before, tune in to Hard to Kill, the story of Vince McMahon this week. No, the Impact Wrestling pay-per-view, which should be a really good, exciting show.
If you guys peep out the mid-card mess on Saturday, that's when I'm going to be dropping the new episode. It's going to obviously be after Hard to Kill. That's going to be sometime Saturday morning. And when I say Saturday morning, I mean like it's going to be like 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning when that bit drops because
it's when your cartoons used to air for the old audience out there, for all the old heads. You used to get cartoons, and now you got Jamal talking about Hard to Kill recaps instead.
Well, I'm gonna recap the whole week in detail. That's what I got to do. I got to cover everything for the week.
Yeah, because there's a lot happening.
To be strong, not new, but strong.
as hot of a year as we thought 2022 is, 2023 is starting off hot with crazy ass stories of just like, what's going on? What's happening here? Who's that?
I mean, you got to think about it, guys. We are on the road to WrestleMania right now. This is it.
And we have no idea what's going to happen.
The road to WrestleMania.
And all of us have no idea what's going to happen, to be honest.
It's the most exciting year. It's the most exciting part of the year in pro wrestling before WrestleMania. The Royal Rumble.
Honestly, that's why I always say Wrestle Kingdom kicks it off, because that's when you start hearing who's leaving where, what's going on, and then you got everybody adapted to it. Like, who's in the Rumble? What?
So right now, like in the match of the year is Ospreay and freaking Omega. What do you think is the next match of the year or the next match of the year candidate?
Oh man, that's all right. If WrestleMania, whichever night, I don't give a damn. If it ends the way I want it to, and it's Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns, that's my match of the year right there. I think the crowd has never been hotter and rooted for a babyface more than they would root for Sami Zayn in Los Angeles at WrestleMania against the Tribal Chief, and somehow he picks up that win. I think that would be an emotional match of the year, because Sami is somewhere where no one thought he would be all these years ago. When he first came up from NXT, it was like, Sammy's just, the injuries, just floating around the mid-card for a bunch of years and, living that life to only barely being booked on certain shows, just kind of around, to being one of the top draws and most likable characters in all of wrestling, universally loved by not only the WWE fan base, but also the IWC fan base, the Internet Wrestling Community fan base. I think him beating the Tribal Chief for that title. Damn you, Cody, for whatever you were trying to do. Sami Zayn should not only win the Royal Rumble, but go ahead and main event WrestleMania. Because the storyline between him and the Bloodline and Roman yelling at him and going, how could you win? You're supposed to be for me. And doing all that. And then him turning on him. Just an epic, long-term storytelling. Be amazing. Sorry, Cody. Dusty ain't getting that title anytime soon. Maybe you could be Sami Zayn or something, but that would be the story.
I think they're going to go with the Cody route. But again, it's just like one of those things that, this KO match that's coming up with Roman Reigns, that's long-term storytelling right there in itself. And even if KO loses, or when KO loses, rather, that's a great match. that's fitting to
Yep.
happen. Freaking I'm not looking at LA Knight and freaking
Whatever that is, the pitch black match.
yeah. I mean, you're better off looking at Daniel Bryan's gonna face. I mean, Bryan Danielson's gonna face somebody soon. That could be the next match
Oh,
of the year. You got
and people sleeping on MJF versus Bryan Danielson.
people are
sleeping on that
sleeping on Impact Wrestling this Friday. Like, people are sleeping on the Gunther Braun match. Like,
Oh,
I know people had their reservations on Braun, but you thought Sheamus and freaking Gunther was good.
hell, I thought Omos and Braun was good at the Saudi Arabia show. It was a solid match. They pulled it off. I think Braun and Gunther, who is a 20 times better wrestler than Omos, and then I think it's going to be brutal. I think it's going to be physical. I think Gunther can't miss. Like, I think he's in that area of Bryan Danielson's and your Seth freaking Rollins. They don't miss.
He's everything that WWE wanted Keith Lee to be.
Nicole Levi, Sami Zayn might not be employed by WWE. If they're so decided, he's gone.
Be the biggest mistake of their life.
Literally, if they get rid of Sami Zayn, that is the end. Oh, I disagree.
What?
I disagree. This is one of the most entertaining.
See, Levi. This is why you be getting canceled.
This is one of my favorite title reigns. From memory, this is gonna be my favorite title reign probably ever because it's been interesting.
3 years,
and it's been interesting. Every storyline, whether he was feuding with the Usos, the first row with Kevin Owens,
everything is mattering.
Yeah. And it's bringing stakes to that title. Like, I remember a few years back, everybody was like, there hasn't been these long-term champions. I would like to see a long-term champion. This is what a long-term champion does. This is it. This is everything we've asked for and more. Like, this is Gunther in NXT on the long run.
Pregnancy. She had to pee. That's all. That's all, folks. That's all.
Alicia Dark agrees with Levi. All right. Well, that does it for today's show. I think we covered literally everything. It's in the title. We covered everything. Whether it's Vince McMahon, Impact Wrestling, free agents out there, all types of stuff. Even the deep dive and what's wrong with wrestling today. The Nova discussion. Be sure to check out Jamal's picks of the weeks and matches. It's in the short, probably listed below, right behind us. And be sure to check out all the content we have, whether it's the Untitled Manny And Marcus show tomorrow, Raw's Retro on Friday, the Saturday show featuring Eric and a lot of hood cholos. It's gonna be an amazing week.
On Saturday.
Yeah, Mid-Card Mess. You have that one. You have so much content coming out. Be sure to check it out. This has been fun. Hope everybody enjoyed this show. Jamal, let's give them all the guns and say good night, everybody. You know, the problem with this is that I don't know how to end the show like without shooting, and I do it anyway, and I don't know what to do because we always come back. I can't hit buttons and shoot at the same time. I'm just like this the entire time.
The real sharpshooter is here because it's real.
The real sharpshooter. This ain't no work. This is a shoot. This is a legit shoot.
This is the shoot.
This is the shoot with the shooter. And let me tell you this, guys, he's hard to kill. Like Instagram. All right, you guys have a good evening. Good night. Or good day.